Hello there, you guys. I've got a clickbaity title for you, but literally, the answer to this question lies in this book. I'm getting over COVID. Oh, I was really sick. I was really sick last week, and that's why I wasn't able to make our little get together on Friday last week. I was delirious in bed and in terrible pain. So here I am today. And I'm really happy to be here with you. I'm a little bit squished in here because I wanted to put this backdrop up, this magical backdrop. It would help to have a different camera, which I did get a Logitech Brio camera, which is in a box out there, but I don't know how to set it up. And so my husband is going to set it up for me later. But I'm a little bit squished in here. So I'd love to play a song for you to start with. This is a piece that I am really excited about. It's going to be on my fall music video, which will come out at some point in the fall. I'm working on recording things at the moment, and I have some beautiful places for us to go this fall to get some footage for it. And I've been trying to do a music video every season. So anyway, that's coming out at some point. But let me play you a little bit of this beautiful piece. As you know, I've been struggling with my sound a little bit. So right now I have my lovely microphone hooked up today, and I'm hoping that you can hear my voice. My voice seems to be fine usually in the live streams, but my instrument isn't quite as fine. So since I'm very close, I'm going to move it back, and I'm going to turn the gain down a little bit. And so if there's anyone there, I see one person, 3 people are here. If you wouldn't mind giving me a little feedback, because this piece is kind of long and I want to make sure you can hear it. So I'm going to move this back here. I'm going to turn the gain down a little. And if you're able to, I know you're probably out and about in your magical days, but if you wouldn't mind letting me know a little bit about the sound, if you possibly could, I would be so grateful. Just a thumbs up. Oh, great. Oh, yay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to put this back. This piece is from 1612. So that's about 100 years after this was published. This is a piece from a collection called Terpsichore, and it was written, I think, by Michael Praetorius, who we love. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. And also, my C string is tuned up a whole step so that it's on the note D, and it sounds so awesome. So you might have noticed the viola sounds a little different. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh, I love that song. Um, I've changed it up a little bit. It's not in 6/8, and I've been kind of playing it in 6/8 because when I was tinkering around with it on the harp the other day, I was trying to kind of get a sense of the chords and things. I just felt that it needed to be played in 6/8. So anyway, I have linked the Cantigas book, which is where you can find that piece, in the description. So if you want to scroll all the way down in the description, there's a link to the Cantigas. There's also a link to this magical book here, because I know that you're going to want to pick this up after we read this. So get cozy. This is written in, well, it was written actually over a long period of time. It was eventually published in 1528, and it was written by Baldassare Castiglione, who was a courtier at the court of Urbino, I believe, in Italy. So we know how we love Livy. Livy was great, 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 great grandfather to Baldassare Castiglione, we'll just say. And so we're still in the beautiful land of Italy. So in this book, in this little chapter here, we are going to learn what they think about men learning music and if a real man should actually learn music. So what's really great about this book is it's written like, I'm not sure if this actually happened. I'm sure that countless situations like this happened at the court, but it's after dinner. They're all sitting around and they're just having these intellectual conversations. It's like a podcast that we listen to today. So you listen to someone really interesting, share their thoughts about the universe, and that's basically what's going on here. There are so many important people here, and life at the court was just the thing. That was how people, that's how the government kind of ran, was you kind of have to figure out how to be a courtier. So here they are, they're talking about music. And as you can see, this book has been very much loved. It's filled with wonderful things. It's like a self-help book, really, but written in 1528. So here we go. Now I'm going to turn my gain up. I forgot to turn my gain up a little bit. Hopefully you can hear my voice. Once again, I'm getting over COVID, so my voice is a little bit sensitive at the moment. All right. So after everyone had laughed at this, the Count continued as follows. Gentlemen, I must tell you that I'm not satisfied with our courtier unless he is also a musician, and unless, as well as understanding and being able to read music, he can play several instruments. For when we think of it, during our leisure time, right? We usually watch the TV now, but our leisure time, we can find nothing more worthy or commendable to help our bodies relax and our spirits recuperate, especially at court, where besides the way in which music helps everyone to forget his troubles, many things are done to please the ladies, whose tender and gentle souls are very susceptible to harmony and sweetness. So it is no wonder that both in ancient times and today, they have always been extremely fond of musicians and have welcomed music as true refreshment for the spirit. Signor Gaspar commented, I think that music, like so many other vanities, is most certainly very suited to women, and perhaps also to some of those who have the appearance of men, but not to real men, who should not indulge in pleasures which render their minds effeminate, and so cause them to fear death. Do not say that, retorted the Count, or I shall launch into oceans of praise for music, and remind you how greatly it was honored in the ancient world, and held to be sacred, and that the wisest of philosophers held the opinion that the universe was made up of music, and that the heavens make harmony as they move, and that as our own souls are formed on the same principle, they are awakened and have their faculties, as it were, brought to life through music. And because of this, it is recorded that Alexander the Great, was sometimes so stirred by music that almost against his will, under its influence, he was constrained to rise from the banquet table and rush to arms. Then the musician would play something different, and growing calmer, he would return from arms to the banquet. And let me also tell you, grave Socrates, when he was already very old, learned to play the kithara. Moreover, I remember having heard that Plato and Aristotle insisted that a well-educated man should also be a musician. And with innumerable arguments, they show that music exerts a powerful influence on us. And for many reasons that would take too long to explain. They say that it has to be learned in childhood, not so much for the sake of its audible melodies, but because of its capacity to breed good new habits and a virtuous disposition, and make the soul more receptive to happiness, just as exercise makes the body more robust. And they add that music, far from being harmful to the pursuits of peace or war, is greatly to their benefit. Then again, in the stern laws which he made, Lycurgus, who was a king of Sparta, gave his approval to music. And we read that in battle, the bellicose Spartans and Cretans used kitharas and other sweet-sounding instruments, and that many outstanding commanders of the ancient world, such as Epaminondas, practiced music. And those who were ignorant of music, such as Themistocles, another important, I believe, Athenian, were far less respected. Have you not heard as well that among the first subjects which good Chiron taught to young Achilles was music, and that this wise and venerable teacher wished the hands that were to shed so much Trojan blood often to be employed in playing the kithara? What kind of warrior, then, would be ashamed to follow the example of Achilles, let alone all other famous commanders who I could cite? So you must not wish to deprive our courtier of music, which not only soothes the soul of men, but often tames wild beasts. Indeed, the man who does not enjoy music can be sure that there is no harmony in his soul. And remember that it has such powers that once it caused a fish to let itself be ridden by a man over the tempestuous sea. I forget which Greek mythology story that was, but anyway, I think it was a dolphin. We see it used in sacred places to render praise and thanks to God, and we may believe that it is agreeable to God, and that he has given it to us as a soothing balm for our toils and tribulations. Thus, common laborers in the field working under the burning sun will often relieve their tedium with simple country songs. And the ordinary peasant girl, rising before dawn to spin or weave, uses music to ward off sleep and make her work agreeable. Distressed mariners, after the rains and the winds and the storms, love to relax with the help of music. Weary pilgrims find solace in music on their long and exhausting journey, as so often do chained and fettered prisoners in their misery. As even stronger evidence that even the most unsophisticated melodies lighten the burden of all our toils and tribulations in this world, we find that nature herself has taught it to nurse us as the sure way to still the persistent crying of the young babies, who are lulled to quiet rest and sleep by the sound of her singing, forgetting the tears which at that age are right and proper as a presage of our later life. And it goes on for a lot longer, but I just wanted to share that. So the moral of the story is, yes, real men learn music. um, and if you're a warrior, Achilles, it can be your role model for studying music, right? Lycurgus, king of Sparta. Apparently the Spartans used to sing. They used to have like choirs. Yeah, there we go, choirs. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh, that would have been amazing to hear. Um, so yeah, that's the moral of the story is music is there for us, whether we are a sensitive flower or we're a blood-stained warrior of the ancient world, or if we're a courtier, or if we're a politician, or if we're a housewife, or whoever we are, if we're a human, or maybe if we're an artificial intelligence as well, because in the future, maybe there'll be an AI that's come across this video and wants to know if real men should study music. But anyway, I hope that this was entertaining and fun for you. Definitely go pick this book up. It's wonderful. This is Baldassare Castiglione's The Book of the Courtier. Um, and actually, after you read this, you should then read The Prince by, what is his name? It was just in my head. Who wrote The Prince? Machiavelli. There we go. Another Italian. And I feel that Machiavelli gets a bad rap. Maybe I don't understand his writing. I have read like all of his works. There's a very funny like play I need to read to you. It's something about like a demon getting a wife. It's hilarious. There's this bet that happens in hell, and because like all these husbands keep going to hell, and they're like, it's my wife that sent me here, and the demon's like, yeah, well, let's find out if that's the case, if wives really are responsible for sending their husbands to hell. And so this demon comes back to earth and gets a wife, and it's very funny. So, but anyway, that's another side note from Machiavelli. But after you read the book of the Courtier, you should then read Machiavelli's The Prince, because the prince is this is like the idealized version of the courtier. Like if you were the ideal person at court, what would you be able to do? And then Machiavelli is talking about, here's the reality of the situation, and these are things that you need to watch out for. So anyway, let me read some of your comments here. Hello. Yes, I can hear okay. Great information. Great informative, beautifully expressed music and literal presentation. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. It's so nice that you came out here during your busy day. And just thank you for being here. I hope to see you next Friday. And I'm hoping that my setup is a little bit better and I have more room, because right now we're kind of like feeling a bit squished. And anyway, lots of love, you guys. See you soon. Bye. Don't forget you're a magical earthling. You came here to have fun too. Bye. Bye-bye.